TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Mike Lane and with Wade Barrett. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we got a good show, here today on Friday Night Smackdown. But yesterday we're going to talk about what happened on Impact or Hit when Xia Li beat both Taylor and Autolycus and kept the TWF 24/7 winnings. Will we see that happen here today on Friday Night SmackDown? Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, it's hard to say, Mike Lane says, if we will see it or not. But I would like to think that hopefully we'll see Xia Li as a 24/7 fighter here today on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, she did beat Autolycus and Taylor. Will she be fighting other folks? I'm going to tell you something right now, Gorilla and Mike. The way I look at it, Wade Barrett says, the way I look at it, Xia Li should have not been fighting Autolycus, the King of Thieves, or should have not been fighting, Taylor. I don't know why. I do not know why Ric Flair has something against her, but he most likely has something against her. And that must be why he's making her fight all of these folks, Gorilla Monsoon. All these folks, Gorilla Monsoon and Mike Lane. Well, first off, she is the TWF, she is the TWF 24/7 fighter, Gorilla Monsoon says. And she has to fight at 24 spans a day. So I think it is fair that she was fighting Autolycus and Taylor yesterday, Wade Barrett. And if Xia Li didn't like the oversight, then she shouldn't have been winning the TWF heavy TWF 24/7 winnings all those times, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, I could tell you right now, Mike Lane says, that Asuka's coming out, Xia Li's coming out, and she's not happy about it. Yesterday, I had to fight Autolycus and Taylor for the TWF 24/7 winnings. And I don't think that's right. But then again, I beat Autolycus and I beat Taylor. So who's the next folks that want to come after me for the TWF 24/7 winnings? Because if they do, I'll just beat them like I've been beating everyone else. Because I don't think there's a man or a woman who can beat me for the TWF 24/7 winnings. Well, here comes Ric Flair now. Xia Li, once again, your mouth has put you in a bind. You say there is no man or woman who can't beat you for the TWF 24/7 winnings. Well, today, that oversight happens again. Only this time, you'll be taking on Elois and Max Agora. And any one of them could become the TWF 24/7 fighter. So, this match happens now. Just bring them on, Ric Flair. Bring them on, because I'll just beat all of them. Alright. So you see, Gorilla Monsoon says, so you see, Wade Barrett says, Xia Li, does not mind fighting anyone, because in her mind, she believes that no man or woman can beat her, Wade Barrett says. First off, there is no man or woman walking God's green earth that cannot be beat. Everyone loses every once in a while. So would you be earnest, Wade Barrett? You got that right, Mike Lane says. There is no man or woman that God has made that cannot be beaten. Well, Jesus might be the only one. But for everyone else, they're going to get a beating every once in a while. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, Mike Lane says. This match is for the TWF 24/7 winnings. First, he is Elois, and she is Max Agora, and she is the TWF 24/7 fighter, Xia Li. Well, let's see what happens. Well, Max Agora just took down, Xia Li. And Max Agora, Gorilla Monsoon said, a body slam, a hip toss. Max Agora is a former TWF heavyweight fighter in her own right, Gorilla Monsoon says. And soon, Xia Li coming down. Elois taking down Max Agora, who's been in the toy wrestling gathering since 2006 YL. And now Elois wants to become the TWF 24/7 fighter. Well, Mike Lane says, if Elois or Max Agora end up winning this match, they'll have to deal with that oversight. Wait a minute, oh, Xia Li got out of the way, and so did Max Agora. Mike Lane says, yeah, Wade Barrett says, I think it's an unfair oversight for anyone who wins the TWF 24/7 winnings. Oh, well, that would be unfair to anyone else, but Xia Li has seemed to be the most overtaking TWF 24/7 fighter we have seen in some time. Wade Barrett says, I don't even think she is beatable. Oh, down goes Elois. As I told you before, Wade Barrett, no man or woman is unbeatable, unstoppable, and unyieldable. Well, Mike Lane said Xia Li has taken out both Elois and Max Agora, and she's making up her mind which one that she wants to cover. Oh, she's going to cover both of them, Mike Lane says. Well, Gorilla Monsoon says, Xia Li believing in herself that much to cover both, both Elois and Max Agora. Gorilla Monsoon says, 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF 24/7 fighter, Xia Li. Now, Xia Li is still the TWF 24/7 fighter. Here, Gorilla Monsoon says here in the toy wrestling gathering. But for how long will she hold on to the strap this time before she ends up losing it? Fuck. No. Do it like this then. There you go. Who's going to be the man or the woman, Gorilla Monsoon says, who's going to beat Xia Li and win the TWF 24/7 winnings? Oh, I don't know, Mike Lane says. Whoever it is, he or she hasn't been in the ring yet. So your guess is as good as mine, Mike Lane says, on who's going to do that. You want to know the answer to that asking thing, Wade Barrett says? The answer is that no one is going to beat Xia Li for the TWF 24/7 winnings. Well, that could be your belief, Gorilla Monsoon says, but I see it highly unlikely that Xia Li is not going to lose. All right. Take it away, Jonathan Coachman. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon and Mike Lane. I'm going to be talking with Xia Li here today on Friday Night Smackdown. after she won her match here today. Well, Xia Li, this time you beat Lois and Max Agora, and you're still a TWF 24/7 fighter. I'm gonna tell you something right now. There ain't no man or woman in the toy wrestling gathering that can beat me and win the TWF 24/7 winnings. That is not gonna happen. So, what happened to Autolycus, what happened to Taylor, what happened to Lois and Max Agora, that'll happen to anyone, who happens to get in the ring with me. And I'm the only one that can deal with 24/7 oversight. Well, Xia Li, you have lost the TWF 24/7 winnings and won it back sundry times, or many times. But I think sooner or later someone is going to come along to beat you. Well, I don't know who that's going to be, Jonathan Coachman, because it wasn't Autolycus, it wasn't Taylor Arrogant, it wasn't Elois, it wasn't Maxine Agora. So I don't know who it's going to be, because it's not going to be any of them. Well, that's my talk with Xia Li, still believing in herself. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon and Mike Lane. Well, thank you, Jonathan Coachman, for talking. Thank you, Jonathan Coachman, for talking with Xia Li here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And it is all the time we've got here for Friday Night Smackdown. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Mike Lane, with Wade Barrett, we hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Collision or Hit.